La fraternità si realizza soltanto con un amore speciale.
Brotherhood amongst all can be achieved only through a special kind of love. It's a love that's directed to everyone, just as God the Father sends sun and rain on the good and on the bad. It's not a love that's directed only to relatives and friends and a few other people. It's directed to everyone, and this already requires effort. If we left here having resolved simply to love everyone we meet, and if we're Christians, seeing Jesus in them, because he'll say, you did it to me, you did it to me, I think that we would already have taken a great step forward because the Christian revolution would spread from here. Then this love we need so as to build this brotherhood, sisterhood, fraternity isn't only tolerance. Although it is tolerant, it's not only solidarity. Although it is solidarity too, it's something different because it's the very love of God. We Christians say it's the love poured into our hearts by the Holy Spirit. This love takes the initiative without waiting to be loved. It makes the first move, taking an interest in others without bothering them, of course. It takes the initiative and doesn't wait to be loved. Usually, people wait to be loved before loving. Instead, it's a love which is first. And this brings a revolution. In fact, our movement has reached the ends of the earth not because of what we did, but due to a charism from God. If we leave here determined to love everyone and always being the first to love without waiting, this is already gospel life. Do you understand what the gospel is? It's gospel. Then it's not a sentimental or a platonic love, it's not a fleeting love, but a concrete love, which makes itself one with the person who's being loved. If someone is ill, we feel ill with him or her. If people are happy, we're happy with them. If they've achieved something, we feel their achievement is ours too. It's a love in which, as St. Paul says, we make ourselves all things to all people. We make ourselves poor or ill with the others, sharing. That's the kind of love it is, a concrete love. So it's a love that's directed to everyone, a love that takes the initiative, and a love that must be concrete. Then we should love others as ourselves, as the Gospel says. Therefore, my friend Ailey, who I see there in the hall, is me, because I must love her as myself, like Chiara, as I love myself. Likewise with Clara, I must love her as myself. I must love this lady and this lady as myself, because this is the gospel. This too is a big thing. Whenever do people love others as themselves? In a way, we almost transfer ourselves into the others in order to love them as ourselves. It's a love which, if lived by several people, becomes reciprocal, because I love Marius and Marius loves me. I love Clara and Clara loves me. This reciprocal love is the pearl of the gospel. Jesus said, I give you a new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. He said this commandment is his and new. His, so it sums up the gospel. It's the basis of fraternity. What can we do to be brothers and sisters if not love one another as he loved us? He who even gave his life for us. We should keep these things in mind, mindful of what this love is like. To answer the gentleman who asked the question, how should we see our relationship with others? We should see it in terms of dialogue. I must see the other person as someone with whom I should dialogue. But in order to dialogue, I need to know that person. I need to enter into their world. I mustn't assert myself, but try to understand the other person, let them say what they want to say. We need to enter into the heart and mind of the other person, allow the other person to be open and to speak. They should feel that we are empty of ourselves and able to understand them. What happens then in our experience is that other people understand they are loved and they listen willingly to what we have to say. The Pope says something very beautiful about dialogue, that we need to share our truth, what we think. But it must be a respectful announcement, which means an announcement that respects the opinion of the other person, that has no intention of proselytizing and doesn't want to impose on anyone. This is the dialogue that should be carried out. It's the basis of our life of universal fraternity.